Since his fall at the Battle of Dagorlad, Sauron has been regrouping his forces. In the millennia that have passed since his fall, he has slowly but inexorably increased his great army of fell beings and rebuilt his fortress. His powers are now so strong that if he can lay his hands upon the One Ring once more, he will be able to break down all resistance in Middle-earth and cover all the lands in a second darkness. We're reading the final section from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, visual companion by Jude Fisher. We're learning about the dark powers on pages 62 and 63. And we're learning about the Orcs from pages 64 to 67 in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube presents podcast mini-series, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, visual companion, my reading and commentary. Hello again, welcome back to Video Gamers Oasis presents The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, visual companion, my reading and commentary. This is a podcast mini-series. We go through this entire book by Jude Fisher. We recently finished we finished through the chapters on dwarves and the Istari. And at the end of this video, there will be a quiz on the dwarves and the Istari. Questions only, no answers. I'm hoping my friend Hayden, if I can get him online next time, we can have a nice conversation with the answers next time. Now we're moving on to a brand new chapter, and that is, my friends, the dark powers. Yes, we've already discussed the powers of light, the good guys, the good girls, you could say. Free peoples of Middle-earth, the individuals who are on the light side. Now we're going to the dark side here. We're going to learn about the various villains and rogues in the Lord of the Rings mythology, starting with page 62 and 63, the dark powers, introduction to them. And we're also going to study about a type of creature, a race of creatures, very frightening, very infamous in this lore. Page 64 and 65, 66, 67, we're going to learn about the Orcs, the main baddies that Aragorn, Elrond, Frodo, and all the other good guys have to battle throughout the story. So I hope you'll look forward to that discussion. And if you haven't already, before we begin, please send some likes and loves. Subscribe to Video Gamers Oasis. Click the notification bell. I do appreciate it. If you want to see more fantasy content on this channel, it's mainly a video gaming and video game history channel. But I also enjoy fantasy stories. So if you want to see more content like this, more researching fantasy stories, please subscribe. Click the notification bell to be notified of future videos. I do appreciate it. Now let's see here. Got my magnifying glass, brass rimmed, and my reading glasses to help me stay focused on what we're talking about. Let us begin. Page 62, the dark powers, when introduced to the villains of the story of the Fellowship of the Ring. There's a quotation here. Introduction reads, "The enemy has many spies in his service, many ways of hearing, ... even birds and beasts." Ooh. The dark powers even use birds and beasts for spying on the good guys. First paragraph. Since his fall at the Battle of Dagorlad, Sauron has been regrouping his forces, even though he has failed to find again the ruling ring, which he so treacherously forged and which was taken from him by Isildur, the High King of Gondor, and then lost, seemingly forever. Second paragraph to the left. In the millennia that have passed since his fall, he has slowly but inexorably increased his great army of fell beings, and rebuilt his fortress at Barad-dûr. Dur, I think that's pronounced. His powers are now so strong that if he can lay his hands upon the One Ring once more, he will be able to break down all resistance in Middle-earth and cover all the lands in a second darkness. Second column to the right. His eye ever seeks his ruling ring, and he has many servants upon whom to call as his spies and soldiery. The greatest and most fearsome of these are his Nazgûl, known also as the Ring Wraiths. But the forces of darkness include many fell creatures, such as Orcs and Uruk-hai, trolls and wargs, and other monsters. That's one of the reasons why I love The Lord of the Rings so much. As a kid, I had an obsession with monsters. And Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, is chock full of monsters. Bad beasts, baddies in service of Sauron the Dark Lord. On the bottom of page 62, we see a photograph of one of the Ring Wraith's hands and robes, armored hands. They have metallic gauntlets, and they're holding one of their swords, gripping it, ready to attack anyone who has the ring, the One Ring that Sauron wants and needs in order to defeat the forces of light. And here we have another photograph of a Ring Wraith, or a Nazgûl, riding on a horse in the moonlight near the forest. See the moonlight in the background on page 63. Moving on to page 64, we're going to learn about one of the beasts, one of the creatures, the actual race of creatures that are a main villain, stock villain, you could say, in the story. And we're going to learn about the Orcs on page 64. Orcs. Quotation. They were once elves. First paragraph on page 64. Orcs are not a natural part of Middle-earth, for they were originally created by the Dark Powers. Long ago, in the First Age, elves were taken captive, tortured, and mutilated in the dungeons of the Dark Lord, until they had been transformed from the most beautiful and noble of the world's folk into a ruined and terrible new form of life. Orcs. These creatures multiplied until the Dark Lord had grown himself a monstrous army with which to oppress the free peoples of the world. Filled with his dark will, they were swarthy and stunted, vicious and evil, and bore little relation to their noble elven ancestors. Bred in darkness, they hate the light, and when they issue out to do their master's will, it is with demonic energy and cruel blades. So we have a photograph on the bottom of page 64 of some orcs in their chainmail and plate armor. Green skin, leathery skin, very, very creepy looking. This one here in the front has a spear in his clutches. He's got armored gauntlets or claws, and he's got pointy ears and a ring on his left ear. He's got a snarling looking face, and he once was an elf. And here's some buddies behind him, orcs behind him, soldiers. They have armored helmets, as well as all of them have bows and arrows as well. They're armed to the teeth. A lot of their armor is spiked, not just metallic, not just plate armor, but spiked plate armor. So their armor can do damage to their enemy. So they are not to be trifled with. These orcs are living in the mountains in this scene. Moving on to page 65. Boy, that's got to be a face only a mother could love. Here we have a face of an orc. Really nasty, really, I'm just going to call it for what it is. You may be aroused, sexually aroused by this face. For one, I'm not. This is a very ugly face. Very ugly and horrific orc. Snarling at the camera. Big yellow teeth, jagged teeth, and he's got a chain on his left nostril. Kind of an accessory many modern punks like to wear. Who knows? He's got a little bit of hair on the back of his head, but not much. He's wearing leather armor. And there's another orc here, snarling at the camera. Really nasty face. He's got a tattoo in the middle of his forehead. He's got jagged yellow teeth, pink gums exposed, black lips, and black eye shadow, you call it. And his eyes are very, very beady, very, very tiny eyes. Can't really see them, but they are very yellowish dark and scary looking eyes. So he looks like he is a big meanie. Page 65, first paragraph of this page. It reads, "Now in the third age, their kind has spawned such multitudes that they range widely across the world and are often to be seen as far west as Mirkwood and the edges of the Golden Wood of Lothlorien, a province sacred to the elves. Others have colonized the great dwarf halls of Khazad-dûm." Next paragraph, page 65. "The foulness of their looks and ferocity of their behavior is matched by the ugliness of their language, which, although a degraded form of Westron, the native language of Middle-earth, has in the mouths of the orcs taken on a vile sound, tainted further by the introduction of words and phrases of the guttural black speech of Mordor, whence they originate." So they even developed their own language that is very gross. Not just their physical and appearance disposition, but their language is very gross to look at as well, or to listen to. Finally, on page 65, we're going to look at a box here, a little section here. I'm going to read this paragraph. Moria Orcs. "After the dwarves had abandoned the city of Moria, their ancient home beneath the misty mountains, orcs moved in to occupy the vast halls and passages that were thus left uninhabited. The orcs of Moria have developed dark skin and pale, protuberant eyes in response to their underground environment." I'm going to have to look up the word protuberant in the dictionary. Protuberant eyes in the response to their underground environment, which they scuttle about like insects, using the spikes on their black armor to aid them in their movement up and down the walls and pillars of Khazad-dûm. So they use their armor, the spiked armor, to climb up and down the mountain walls. Really cool use of that armor. And they have transformed. They look different than they were before they occupied the mountain of Moria. And here we have another photograph, a real close-up, a little bit too close for comfort, of a face of an orc yelling out with his guttural voice. He's got some rings on the bottom of his chin. He's got some chains around his neck. There's some other orc soldiers with bows and arrows. And you can see a real bright green eye on the left eye here. These guys are really, really gross looking. And moving on to the next page. We're going to take a little break, folks. That's all the time we have for this discussion of The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. We're starting to scratch the surface on the dark powers of Sauron. Tune in next episode. We're going to discuss another couple of races of creatures, and that will be the end of the book because we're nearing the end. We're going to learn about the Orcs and the Nazgul. Two really formidable and dangerous enemies. They are servants of Sauron, and as you can see, as you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Saruman the White as well. So this has been the reading of the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring Visual Companion by Jude Fisher, and this is my podcast mini-series where we read and discuss the contents of these pages. If you like this content, if you like fantasy content, please like this video. It helps the algorithm. And subscribe, click the notification bell for more content like this. I like a lot of fantasy games, and I like a lot of fantasy stories. So if you want to see more content like this on this channel in the future, subscribe, click the notification bell. I do appreciate it. I'm Jeremy from Video Gamers Oasis. Thank you so much for your time and patience, allowing me to flap my gums and talk about my love of Tolkien and his mythology. This is December the 16th, 2024. We're getting nearer and nearer to Christmas and Hanukkah, as well as Kwanzaa. If you celebrate any of those holidays, may you have a happy, content, and loving holiday. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Watch where you walk, because there's a lot of snow and ice in the future, so make sure to be careful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm wishing you a happy December 2024 and a happy January 2025 coming up. Bye for now. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Visual Companion by Jude Fisher. Quiz number 3. First of all, we'll review Chapter 4 on dwarves. Question number 1. For 2 points, relatively speaking, how short or tall do dwarves stand? Question number 2. For 1 point, where do dwarves inhabit? For 3 points, what 3 skills are dwarves famed for? Question number 4. For 4 points, what extraordinary artifacts in their smithies have dwarves crafted? Question number 5. For 1 point, name the marvelous substance, a precious silver metal that runs in deep veins through Moauro. Question number 6. For 2 points, what are 2 incredible and amazing properties of this precious metal? Question number 7. For 2 points, we have a fill-in-the-blank question and answer. Moauro is called, quote-unquote, the Black Chasm, or, in the Dwarven language, blank dash blank. Question number 8. For 2 points, fill in the blank. The dwarves' love for riches has gained them a reputation for blank and blank. Question number 9. For 5 points, explain what the dwarves of Moauro did following the war between Sauron and the elves in the Second Age. Question number 10. For 4 points, what are Gimli, the dwarves' credentials? Question number 11. For 2 points, for who and where does he volunteer for? Question number 12 for 8 points. List Gimli's qualities, both positive and negative, like all dwarves in Middle-earth. Question number 13 for 1 point. What weapon does Gimli pledge in Frodo's service? Question number 14 for 10 points. List all the armor and weapons Gimli wears and uses in total. Question number 15. From what road and location is the underground dwarven kingdom of Moauro? This is for 2 points. Question number 16 for 5 points. Describe the invisible gates of Moauro. Question number 17. What are the symbols in the door made of? This is for 1 point. Question number 18. For 2 points. The inscription on the door is written in an old form of Elvish. What does it say? Question number 19 for 2 points. What are 2 other names for mithril silver? Question number 20 for 2 points. What member of the 9 walkers has a mail shirt of mithril silver, and who did he get it from and how did he get it? Question number 21 for 2 points. Explain what the word Istari means in Elvish. Question number 22 for 2 points. The Istari wizards are Maer. Explain what that means. Question number 23 for 3 points. For what dress code are the Istari known for? Question number 24 for 2 points. Each Istari is known by a specific color, power, and rank in the order. Explain the following. 1. Saruman the White. And 2. Gandalf the Grey. Question number 25 for 2 points. Where and who does Gandalf fondly visit from time to time? Question number 26 for 1 point. What location does Gandalf want to protect from the shadow of Mordor? Question number 27. As one of the Istari, what are 2 of Gandalf's remarkable abilities? Question number 28 for 1 point. What is Gandalf's age? Question number 29. Gandalf the Grey is known by the elves as blank. Question number 30 for 5 points. Explain as best as you can Gandalf's mission on Middle-earth. Question number 31 for 3 points. In order to do battle with the forces of darkness, name all of Gandalf's weapons. Question number 32. Complete these quotes. The first quote from Gandalf we have is worth 6 points. Fill in the blanks. Why did the blank send me here in this blank, 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 prone to every mortal blank and blank? Here is question 32, the second quote by Gandalf in the book. For 1 point, it is not the strength of the body that matters, but the strength of the blank. Question number 33 for 1 point. Fill in the blank. The wizard Saruman the White is Lord of blank. Question number 34 for 5 points. Saruman has devoted much study to what? Explain as best as you can. Question number 35, we have another fill-in-the-blank question. For 5 points, Saruman's home is blank, a vast tower hewn from a solid pillar of unbreakable blank, which rises to a great blank, blank, blank. Question number 36, for 2 points. Where is the location of the Tower of Orthanc? Question number 37. For 1 point. What is its main defense? Question number 38. For 7 points. We have another fill-in-the-blank question. Unknown to all but Saruman, Isengard is home to one of the rare blank space blank, the blank, comma, a great ball of black stone with which the wizard is able to blank, 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 blank. Question number 39. We have 2 different quotations from Saruman the White. For the first one, it's worth 10 points. Fill in the blank. The world is changed, Gandalf. A blank space blank is at hand. The blank of blank, comma, which we must blank, period. Are we not the blank, question mark? Within this blank space blank space blank, does not the spirit of a blank live? And for question number 39, the second quotation from Saruman the White, blank is the greatest power. This is for 1 point. Question number 40, bonus questions. Identify the actors and actresses for each of these roles. Aragorn, Boromir, Elrond, Arwen, Legolas, the Lady Galadriel, Gimli, Gandalf the Grey, Saruman the White. Each of these names are worth 1 point each.